The following may contain language which will be offensive to some people and inappropriate for children. Still here? Then pour your favorite beverage and let's get this fucking show started.
Fantastic Forum assemble. We're back and we're live like we are every Wednesday. And we're here giving you reviews on comics, views on news, and no booze for me, but a little bit of booze-fueled commentary on a lot of different topics in pop culture and current events in comics and movies and all that stuff that people talk bullshit about. We're here doing it live. I'm here with my man Jay. Say hello, Jay.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah, Jay is going to bring you a review of Came the Mirror manga, I believe. And
Yeah.
he's also bringing us the Brain Anthology, which is a webtoons webcomic horror anthology that Oz mistakenly thought was a cartoon series. But yeah, either way, see, there he is. Egg on his face and everything. You can't see him. He's all blurry because the egg even got on the lens.
Yeah, well, it's a God, man.
It's not your fault.
I
It's
had to like stare at it for a
Yeah.
while, and it's really screwed up my last video. But I have a thing about redoing something that's supposed to be a reaction, and also fitting that there's no Mayor Young today, considering all the false information he was spewing last week. It's like it was killing me watching you guys just wrong.
Yeah, well, look, I just love how he last week he said Encanto was amazing, and then he's like, "Oh, I didn't see it." You guys heard that too, right? I wasn't the only one. And it was funny. I told Emily, like, "Hey, yeah, Larry loves that thing." He's like, "Really?" And he's like, "Is it because it's Disney?" I'm like, "I don't know. He hasn't seen it. He just loves it." But yeah. Larry, like as you heard, Larry's not here. You saw Oz, the handler of the package, and then as always, if you want to get in touch with us, the lady will tell you how to do that right now.
Want to get in on the action? Call Fantastic Forum on Skype and join the fun. Too shy to call in? That's okay. You can join the Discord chat room available at
fantasticforum.live.
Join the party. You know you want to.
Yeah. And just like she said, you can join our little group and chime in. You can actually do what Tiger Claw did and hit us up on our chat room. We got chat room open where he says, any of you guys seen the Uncharted movie? And I haven't. But Jay, I think you have.
I've seen it. It was really good. Like, and keep in mind, I didn't play the first or any of the games except for, like, I play Lost Legacy, which doesn't even have Nathan Drake in it. So I can't say story wise, but feel wise, it was like really good. I loved it. Like,
was there really? Let's see. Let me try to be non-spoilery, even though I haven't seen it. I heard that one of the places they had to go to was inside of Papa John's, and it's not even like they built the Papa John's over it. It's like clearly visible with like a little piece of glass in front of it, but it's this ancient thing like vent or something that they have to get into. Did that really happen?
They don't end up inside the Papa John's, but they are in front of it.
Okay.
Not gonna lie, the whole ancient past, modern day, like it mixes weird, but Uncharted always felt like, to me, like it would do something weird like that. Because like they have to go into this church, and then they go through a passage that leads to a nightclub, and then the nightclub leads to the Papa John's, and it's Uncharted.
But technically all those places are charted. Like they're on Google Maps, they're on Yelp, like they're charted.
Not the under part.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, you can't build a Papa John's without the inspector going all in, all elbow deep in the drywall. You know what I mean? Like,
It takes place like in Italy or something, right?
oh, that's
No, it's a
oh,
Spanish.
That's all the same.
I believe it's a Spanish place.
Facebook user says LA. Sorry, Facebook user. I don't know who you are because you haven't given people permission to use your whatchamahoo.
It's in a country where Antonio Banderas does not seem out of context.
Yeah. So
Right.
There's Antonio Banderas in there, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty good.
it's
That all
probably
looks the same to me.
I didn't watch that movie because it was weird that the Mark Wahlberg was like the older dude and Nathan Drake was like a little kid. But that's not really why I didn't see it. I'm not going to the theater.
He might
Yeah.
be a little kid, right? Because he's a bartender, so he's at least 21.
Yeah, just like in real life. He just looks really young. But I mean, I saw the trailer, it looked cool. So I'm not like saying, oh, it was bad for the part. It was just in my mind, I'm like, when I first saw the poster, I was like, oh, Marky Mark is Nathan Drake. That works. And then that wasn't the case. Yeah.
And then he turns into Spider-Man, right? At one point when he's climbing back into the airplane through those crates.
Right.
That's all wall crawling ability. And
Yeah.
I didn't see a mustache on Sully, so I was out.
He has one at the end.
Doesn't count. I'll watch part 2 then if he still has it.
Now, Sully's the older dude in the games, right? Is that who he's referencing? Now that dude was like, let me see. Like I would have pictured like a dude like Bruce Campbell playing him instead of Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be a young Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
And when you get to the games, he's already been with, like, Sully has lived a hard life.
Oh, okay.
Mark Wahlberg to what he looks like in those games.
Yeah. All right. I'll allow it. I mean, I hear the movie is good. Tire Claw over here says it did pretty well at the box office. So now Tom Holland has another franchise besides Spider-Man now. Yeah. And he's working for Sony too. So yeah, that's our little take on the Uncharted movie for you. Do with it what you will. If you want to see it, tell us no. We're out of pocket saying some of these things. You can do it in the comment section, especially after you like, subscribe, and hit the bell. But Jay, man, one thing we didn't get to talk about last week was this Comixology thing, Comixology Gate.
Yeah,
People are really mad about it. Patton Oswalt's getting pats on the back, and then for me, nothing really changed except for but I didn't try to buy anything, and I tried to look for anything. I just tried to read what I had already purchased or downloaded in part of my Comixology Unlimited subscription, which that was a complaint I read online in one of the articles. That's like some of the stuff I bought, like I can't find anymore. And I didn't have that issue at all. It looks prettier, but there's tabs missing now. And I don't know, Jay, what's your experience with Comixology? Mine didn't seem to be too bad, but like I said, I didn't do anything other than read what I already had.
Oh, I think I've actually been having a pretty bad time. Like, not like super bad, like reading for the most part is okay. It's a little harder to find stuff. It's a little harder to organize your collection, or when you're buying, it's a little harder to know what exactly you're buying. Adding stuff to the wish list is almost impossible now. And I tried to go on, like I can do it in the app. I could read stuff, but I can't read online anymore. Like when you go to comiXology.com, it takes you to the store, the Amazon store, and there's no option to read your books anymore.
Huh.
So I don't, yeah, I'm overall not happy with it. Like the only good thing is that some of my Kindle books are comics, but they're listed as books. So like my Gravity Falls book and Through the Woods that we reviewed on the show like eons ago were listed as books, but I can now read them with the rest of my comics.
Okay.
But other than that, it's not great. Like, it's not great. And from what I hear, creators are actually really getting screwed
Yeah, I heard of
because
that.
comiXology was paying like 70% per something, and Amazon only pays like 30%, or Kindle only pays like 30%. And it's like because Kindle was made for like prose books and not image books.
Yeah.
So it yeah, I think everything is bad. And I did want to bring this up, this one specific issue I'm having. And I don't know if it's related, because I think I might have encountered it even before the combination, but there are books that they just don't sell.
Uh-huh.
And like it'll be part of a series, but they'll like be missing volumes. And I don't understand why. It's making collecting and reading hard.
Yeah. I don't understand why, but that wasn't a problem you had before though, right? It popped up now?
I'm not sure. Like I can't remember. Like it's very recent.
Okay.
And I started reading a book or a manga, and it's in volumes, and they're missing like volume 7, or was it 7, something like that. But they have like 1 through 6 and 8 through 14, but they're just randomly missing 7. Like it's so bizarre.
Yeah, and that sucks because you would buy it, right? It's you could find it digitally anywhere.
I mean,
but-
I did. I ended up having to, because it was either that or wait and not read. And I wasn't going to do that. But yeah, I would buy it. Like that's money the creator could have had, and the publisher.
Even less now, but still, they would have had something.
Right.
Now this shines a light on like what alternatives people can use for comiXology, because comiXology is pretty much it's your one-stop shop. I mean, you can get digital comics other places, but apparently there's a bunch like publisher-specific titles are available. You can get them through like Dark Horse, Dynamite, Humanoids, IDW, Image. Although Marvel, like with their own app, you can get them straight from there. And it used to be great with Marvel, Image, even DC, where you can buy them on that app, and then it'll show up in your comiXology library as well. But they stopped doing that after a while, and the ones I bought on the DC Comics app were on the DC app, and the other ones were in comiXology. That happened years ago. Nobody's really using it as much back then. But there's also like Humble Bundle, which I was supposed to have a Mo deal for you with that, but it's not gonna happen. But I've gotten like they usually do really good deals that aren't like cover price. So they're out there, and of course, there's always the bootlegging. I mean, we don't encourage that, but like in Joe's situation, it's like, well, I want to buy it, but I need to read it right now to keep reading this series. I'm gonna have to bootleg. Maybe it's a terrible, it's all if you want to do it digitally. You can always go to your comic shop, but like I talked about a couple weeks back, sometimes they only do things for their pull list members. Yeah.
Right. And I know for me, like switching to digital was a very conscious choice.
Yeah.
Like for two important reasons. One being that, I lost my collection before twice, and digital makes it a lot harder for that specific loss to happen. And two, just space. Like I don't have a ton of space.
Yeah.
And I'm actually even running into a digital issue right now because my tablet is running out of space. But that's different. Like at least that space doesn't take up a lot of space.
It doesn't.
But
doesn't cost you signing another lease for a bigger apartment.
Right. And like if I had all my old comics like in the space I had now, I would not be living comfortably. And so moving to digital was a very conscious choice. But being that as it may, I'm not willing to go to a bunch of different sites. Like just like with streaming services, I picked Comixology because I could get everything there, and I'm not gonna go shopping on the Marvel, the DC, the Image, the Dark Horse, the Yen Press, the like all these different apps and have all these different readers and go through all that mess. Like, yeah, they need to fix Comixology.
Yeah. I'm sure they'll probably do because, well, all it has to do is, they're making it harder for us to buy certain things. So it's where you place your dollar in the meantime. Yeah.
And unfortunately, something like a manga, and I'm sure I don't know which one you refer to specifically, but I'm sure it's probably obscure. You can't just go to your comic book shop and find it. Even the big stuff. There's I know of 3 comic book shops near me. I guarantee I wouldn't be able to find whatever book you're looking for in any of them. If any, I'm actually been going in my head kind of like a virtual tour of the last time I was there. I don't even remember the manga section, but I could go to like Barnes and Noble, or we have BAM out here too. Like they have tons of manga.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of but even going there where I know I can find the most concentrated stock, it's still a crapshoot whether or not I'm going to find the book that I'm looking for. Even whether it's so you're reading something obscure or something that's popular, it's still like, you're wasting time and money to go to these places looking for it when it should have just been on your whatever device you're using for that app.
Right.
Especially if they have like the next 5 books. It's one thing if like they only got up to 6 and that's it, we can't get any more, but to just have that one book and then have the next 5, it's
right.
It's weird.
It's very weird.
Yeah, it's a travesty in a sense. I mean, like I said, I haven't experienced what everybody's complaining about per se, but I am going to try and test the website tomorrow and see what it does. And I never read through the website. I only bought stuff through the website because I'm an Apple iPad guy. You can't buy on that. So
I don't read through the website. Just
what
because the website is awful. Yeah. Something about their programming, it's really slow and it's prone to crashing. But I did use it to pull up stuff for the show. I will, like when we're showing you parts from books. That's normally through my Comixology. on the website. That's normally what I would use it for. And to not have it, it's a downer. You guys are gonna miss out for it,
Yeah.
the
Well, at least,
audience.
yeah, blame Amazon.
I do.
But yeah,
They're fucking up.
let's see. Yeah, we got our topics out of the way here. Which one you want to do first, Jay? You want to do webtoons or do you want to do Came the Mirror?
Let's do Came the Mirror.
Yeah. I don't have a
So
manga theme, but I can do just the comic book review theme. That works, right?
yeah.
Comic book
Review.
like
Review.
well, not like that, but like Xenocore in chat is okay. What did I miss? Yeah, you missed Larry getting all that stuff wrong about Vox Machina a couple weeks back, and now he's not here because he's afraid of you. Heck says, "Goddamn Bezos." Yeah, I blame him.
Even though he's not in charge anymore.
Yeah, he probably fucked Comixology's wife, and now he's stuck doing that. That's probably what.
Okay. Came the Mirror is a collection of stories by Rumiko Takahashi, the artist behind Inuyasha, Ranma One Half, and other things. And it's a collection of those stories. The title story, Came the Mirror, is about people will get like a mirror on their hands, and when that happens, they're basically it's their job to like force demons out of people and purify them. And so this round is about two kids who find out they both have a mirror, and so they are working together to try and stop themselves from being killed by this man that's more demon than man. That's more demon than man. And yeah, it's I like it. I thought it was pretty cool. The art is standard Rumiko Takahashi artwork. So if you like it, you like it. If you don't, no, it's more of the same. And I think that's about it. Like, it's pretty good. I like it. And the other stories that come with the anthology are pretty good too. Like, there wasn't like any bad stories. I mean, you even get like an autobiographical story at the end.
Oh, tell me a little bit about that, man. What's his autobiographical tale like?
So it's Rumiko Takahashi and what is that guy's name? Hold on, the guy that did Short Program, which mode you may remember us reviewing that.
I do not.
I know. Like I know you have a fucking ridiculous memory,
Yeah.
but I know there are some things you won't remember off the top.
It's usually more narcissistic in nature because it's stuff pertaining to me. But yeah, every now and then it's I do the Japanese stuff though. Like it kind of just one you're not the other, unless it's something I really like. But like if I would have read it, I probably would have remembered, you know. But unfortunately, I didn't read it.
I think he did. Like,
No,
I think
this.
that.
The,
This.
yeah.
But yeah, it's Mitsuru Adachi,
Okay.
who did Short Program. He did Touch. And it's basically them talking about how they got started doing manga, and it's a pretty interesting. Like, Mitsuru Adachi kind of has this like comedic spin on his whole thing about him getting started, and his like brother was an artist, and he talks about how he disappointed his family by becoming a manga artist. But and on the other side, you have Rumiko Takahashi talking about like how she wasn't really into art, but she like gradually gets into it, and ends up, reading her brother's manga and submitting her stories to like contests and different things that she did to get recognized and to start making manga professionally. And yeah, like they're pretty like I said, it's entertaining through and through. Like that.
How many stories are in it?
6. I want to
Okay.
say 6. Don't quote me on it though. No, you
wish
can quote me.
have a chance to read it because
I'll look.
seems like I would have finished it in time. Maybe.
Yeah, there's 6 stories, and yeah,
How fast?
mostly doing with the occult and supernatural. You have like a story about a revenge doll, who a guy gets it and uses it to curse his enemies. One guy gets possessed by his childhood friend's cat. And another guy tries to use this flower to like brainwash a girl into loving him.
Okay, first you got to tell me the story about the cat, the best friend's cat.
Okay, was a childhood friend.
Okay.
So it basically starts out when they're young. The guy doesn't like cats, and the girl is trying to show him her cat, and he ends up like climbing up a tree and breaking his arm. And so later, when they're like in high school, the cat just goes up to the guy and possesses him, and like he turns his arm into like a cat paw because he's about to die. And so he like goes and so he can live in him. And so he has to go to the girl and try to figure out how to get back to normal and, rekindle their friendship throughout trying to get this cat paw to get back into an arm. And yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty. I love the resolution. Like, you think it's one thing, but then it's like throws a curveball at you. And like, I don't want to spoil it in case you do end up reading.
Yeah, that's
but
okay.
It's fun.
It's just weird, like the way you said it. A childhood friend's cat possesses this dude.
Right.
So random. J random. Yeah. How fast of a read is this?
I read it fairly quickly, like about an hour maybe.
Okay.
I don't know, give or take. I wasn't timing myself.
Yeah. I know when you brought it up last week in the little production meeting, it's like it just seems so huge.
Right.
But yeah, no, the way you explain it now, it's like, okay, it might be something. No, the trick was finding a review copy or a or a digital copy to read. But okay, Now, overall, what's your take on this, man? How many cat paws out of 5 do you give this anthology?
I would give it a 4.
A 4?
Like, yeah, it's very comfortable and good, and I like the art, and it's familiar. It's interesting. The stories are like all from different years, so it's like more like a collection of her works, of her
Okay.
supernatural short stories, which is cool. Like, I'm down.
No. All right. 4 out of 5 from Jay. Oz, what would you review Jay's review of Came the Mirror? What would you give that?
Well, you made me want to know more, which is always a good thing because it makes me want to go out and actually read the books. I won't, but I felt like I did as he was talking. So I give Jay's review a 4 because he almost got me to click the link or whatever.
All right. All right, let's move right along to E. I wish Larry was here because he read. I want to hear his thoughts on the cat paw because he
Right.
might end up with a cat paw himself. But yeah, let's go over to this webtoons. I did read one of these, but I still don't like. I'm gonna have you do the preamble. Tell us what this anthology, the Brain Anthology, is, because even though I read some of it, I don't know how to really convey what it is. I'm gonna let
Okay.
Jay.
So the Brain Anthology is a collection of webtoon stories. They split them into 2 categories: the unknown and skin crawling. The unknown being your more like psychological Twilight Zone-ish type of stories, and the skin crawling is your more visceral horror type stories. Um, it starts off with the latter, which is just a bunch of people looking at a ladder, hearing that they're not sure what's up the ladder, but they know that people that go up either don't come back or they come back completely changed. And it's these people, and they're basically just talking and decide, like, talking about whether they should or shouldn't go up the ladder. And eventually someone comes who says she has been up the ladder, and she kind of gives them a perspective and like tells them more about it. And then we see, like, from each of the characters' perspective, like what's in front of them. And it's a very Twilight Zone-ish type story. And I thought it was a good one. Like, I, yeah, like, it made me keep going with, like, it gave me a good feeling about the rest of this anthology. Mo, you read the latter, correct?
No, the one I read was Dead Air.
Oh, Dead Air.
Yeah,
Okay.
that sounds like a horror one.
Yeah. Xenocore in chat says this story sounds like it's on black and white film. One is wearing a beret, the other smoking. And someone is slapped, and it's French. They do have a weird international feel. I don't know how international these are, but there is a little bit of maybe a nuance. I only got that from the few stories I read that is probably not American, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I read Dead Air and I was annoyed because part of that nuance is the pacing. Like, this kid finds a radio that's broken and he fixes it. And then the radio is telling him these weird stories about psychopathy. And that last story is basically describing a murder. home invasion and murder, and he's listening to it, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta show my dad this." And then he goes down for a snack, and the people that were murdered in that little quote unquote radio drama were actually his parents. And so he was listening to a narration of his parents being murdered, and that was a big twist. And it kind of annoyed me because the it took 3 comics to do that. And now, granted, these are short; they're really short. But it's like it still took too long for me to get to that payoff. But the art in it is great. I really love looking at the art, the design, the logo for each little story has its own logo, like its own little comic book. And I was like, man, all right, I want to see this done like maybe as a more fleshed out comic. I also read it on my iPad, and one thing I didn't know about webtoons was that it's actually designed to be read on your phone. So everything, like, I don't know if I can even show it properly, but let's see, like this one, Red Dart episode 3, it starts off like this, and then as you scroll down, it just gives you everything, and then it's all designed to fit in the width of your phone screen. And in the iPad, it's not. So you just everything is a little strip, and you have like the letterbox effect, but it's a swipe, and it wasn't a pleasant experience reading it like that. I tried zooming in, it didn't work because if you move it, if you move to the right a little, it throws it off center. And but when I actually switched, I tried reading 7 Miles Down on the phone, and it just looked amazing because the art was really good in that one, and it's like pastel color, even though it's horror. And but I didn't even get to finish it, and so I'm like, okay. But then
That one is so sad. Like,
yeah.
I love that, but it's just fucking sad as shit. Like, oh my god, dude, you make me sad.
Already. Oh,
You make me sad.
man.
Oh my god.
He's for real.
What's it called? What's it
7
called?
Miles Down.
7 Miles Down.
Why don't you tell us about it, Jay?
I think it really resonates with me, and it's like this girl, like they found a trench deeper than the Marianas, and so they sent her in the submarine, and she's supposed to explore, and she's like they're communicating with her through radio, like her team, and the signal is breaking up, and she finds out that like people like they're like kind of talking shit about her, and she's like feeling like really bad, and like the loneliness and isolation of where she is just like really getting to her. And it is, man, I don't know, it hit me like, man, it's like I feel so bad for her, and she's like so alone. Like,
does it remind you of your time in the Navy?
No.
So
no, I think it's just a general feeling of isolation, but like the bad isolation. Like, as an introvert, like I love me some isolation, but there are times when it's like not great, and there are times when your thoughts and your feelings are like doing the wrong thing, the things you don't want them to do, and the times where like you actually do need to surround yourself with like the people that love you, and she can't, like, because she's just stuck there.
Man.
So it's like, man.
Now I'm getting sad.
Like, it's so good and so sad.
So it's a story about them going 7 miles down in a submarine.
Yeah.
I said, I don't remember my conversion, but 7 miles is less than 20,000 leagues, right?
That's fiction. I can ask Google.
Not unless Jeff Bezos updated it.
20,000. It was a literature joke. I didn't actually think you would.
Look, you're talking to a nautical expert. Like, he not only did he do service in the Navy, he also worked. How long did you work for the little mini cruise line on this boat, Jay? For like 6
Oh,
years?
like 6 years?
Yeah. He even had a captain of a ship watch him poop once. Like, he knows. You can't ask him no nautical question and he'll give you an answer.
It's 69,000 miles.
Okay, so the book is longer.
Yeah.
Deeper. Sorry, it's a book. Of course, it's longer.
But you got to add to the Marianas. So 7 miles deeper than the Marianas Trench.
That's like the center of the earth, right? Okay. Now I have to ask, how deep is Marianas Trench? I never met her, but she sounds like a whore and a lot of fun.
The Marianas
That's
Trench. It's the deepest oceanic trench. It measures about 1,580 miles.
Oh,
Yeah.
Man,
Xenocore says life is rough on the seas, man.
that is deep. That I can see why you guys were brought to tears with the amount of deepness of that story.
No, I honestly, I just started reading like the first bubbles of dialogue. Like, I was actually trying to read it while Joe was setting up the stream. Like, he was on his computer, I was on mine. I'm like looking at it, so I didn't get to actually read it. And then when I told him I was just starting to read this, the art's really good, and he started doing that again. Like, and I'm like, what happened? Like, oh, save it for the air. But the one I tried reading The Hotel, and the guy driving the taxi annoyed the fuck out of me. So
I get that.
yeah, but I was reading that on the tablet, which was already annoying me as it is. I'm like, fuck this. Like, so I'll try to go back, because I mean, if a character annoys you like that, that means the writing's creating some sort of reaction in you. You know,
Mm-hmm.
a sign of something done right. But yeah, so how many of these you read? All of them, Jay?
Yeah.
And how were they delivered? Like, is it a weekly thing or?
I believe it was one chapter a week,
Okay.
but I'm reading it late, so
Okay.
it was all like when I read it, it was already completed.
Okay.
So I was able to quickly go from one story to the next.
Nice. Yeah, no, I gotta get on this webtoons. There's an artist I like that does his own comic there. I forget what it's called, but it's Dean Haspiel, and he's done. I don't know if you guys ever watched Bored to Death on HBO. It's Zach Galifianakis had a comic book. He was a comic book artist in that show, and he had his comic book called Super Ray, but Dean Haspiel did the art for it in the show. And the guy that created the show, Jonathan Ames, wrote a graphic novel, and Dean Haspiel did the art for that. So, and that's what he does.
It's the Red Hook.
The Red Hook, that's what it is. Yeah, and it's almost like about a retired superhero living in Brooklyn or something. I'm misrepresenting it, I'm sure, but it seemed interesting, and I like the art. I like his style. So maybe we'll be reviewing that soon. Give me an excuse to read it, to binge it. Yeah. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, and that's the scrolling thing is how it is. But if you were read it on your phone, it'd be exact width of your screen.
Right.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's Daredevil.
Kinda. It's similar.
Daredevil, but he's a dog, so the ears are floppy.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I can only review the one I read fully, which was Dead Air, which again, aside from I can't even really call it a pacing issue. I mean, the shit was like 6 pages, you know, but the payoff was there. It was cool, but I guess and I think that's under the unknown or skin crawling tag, which I didn't know. I'm
Yeah.
like, why do you think skin crawling on? And then, so if it leaves me with questions, it's fine because it's just about the reaction. So the reaction it gave me at the end was good, but I want to know more. Like, why do all these people have all these radios? Because it's not just radio. Like, and it's an organization with like the Illuminati, like triangle eye, and then this guy just comes and confiscates the radio, puts it in the hall with a bunch of them. And like, where are all these radios coming from? I have questions. So I guess I'm gonna have to follow that dude on Instagram so I can badger him.
Also, what's a radio and how did a child know how to fix it?
A YouTube. He explains that. Yeah.
You watch YouTube?
Yeah. Because the dad wants to hang out with him. He's like, our kid's a dumpster diver. Like, what the fuck? And then he's like, he just picked up a radio. He's not getting food, the mom. So it's like, why don't you go see what he needs? And he's like, oh, yeah. And then he's like, you're only 10. How do you know how to fix a radio? And then like, YouTube. Yeah. He subscribed, liked, and hit the bell on our channel is what he did. He's like, these mad buggy motherfuckers know how to fix it. But yeah, that one I would give like easily a 4, and then just scrolling through just the art on these, they all had really good art. It's a bunch of different artists and writers, and I'm pretty sure I would like most of these. Jay, what would you give Webtoon?
The Brain Anthology, I would give it a 4 out of 5. There are a lot of good stories there. Metamorphosis is one of my favorites, about a guy who's like feeling bad and he finds out there's a bug living under his bed, and it like makes a deal with them to like give him abilities in exchange for like breaking masks. Like it's good. Like I can't describe it, but it's actually really good, and the art for that one's amazing. Black and white art.
These are all available for free.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just go to the site and they're all there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I also really enjoyed the episode Red Dart.
Oh, that's the one. That's my example right here that I was trying to.
Yeah, it's about a vending machine that will give you anything that has a value attached to it, like a monetary value attached. And yeah, it's interesting. Like you can like literally buy anything, and it'll charge you whatever it would like the monetary value is. But then if you like ask for stuff that's illegal, it will like take that value in your like possessions. And if you don't have enough money, it'll just take stuff from you. And it's really interesting. And you see this one guy try to, cheat the system or like try to game the system, and then he gets fucked up. Like he deserves it though. Like he had that shit coming to him.
And that one has some good art too.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at that. Where is that?
Yeah.
And that's under this. I didn't know about the skin crawling and unknown thing. That would have made me like. I was like, why are these parentheticals here? Yeah, they all say the similar thing, but now I know.
Right.
I actually saw that you can download an app. Maybe that'll make it easier to read on my iPad. But again, these are formatted for your phone, so it's not like when I was trying to read the question on the app on my phone, it wasn't working. these are formatted for this, so your phone should do fine, and it'll be good toilet reading because I can get through half of the anthology after dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, let's move right along. We still got a little time left here. Um, you guys didn't get to watch Peacemaker, right, Jay?
Correct.
I did.
Oh, you did? Oh, shit. All right, cool. I really like that show, man. I feel like it was made for me. Like I really think HBO Max is it's like the Vertigo for the DC shows. Like you get your standard fare on your CW, and then you get your more, or I guess maybe Black Label is the better way to put it, where your fucking HBO Max has, because even Titans, like I'm not a huge Titans fan like that. The show itself was like okay, but then you got your Doom Patrol and your Peacemaker and all this. So
I was a fan of Peacemaker at first, but now I'm not sure.
why? 'Cause he's bisexual?
No, I didn't care about that. No, I was reading this interview with the with Hollywood legend Alan Tudyk, and he said that he was having trouble doing some lines for Harley Quinn because there's an eagle in it, and he kept saying "eagly." Because he had just binged Peacemaker and he loved it so much, and it just messed him up. And I think anything that affects Hollywood sweetheart Alan Tudyk is can't be good.
No, you can't blame.
If it affects the work,
Well, you saw Eagly's moments there, man. You saw that. Like it's not. You can't watch that and say, "Oh, Eagly ruined." Like you can't expect to not be ruined by Eagly. You know?
The funny part is reading stories that originally James Gunn wanted to use a real eagle. And
Yeah.
like, you're not gonna get an eagle to do half the shit that this thing does, man. I don't know. Like, he must have been joking, and somebody took him serious. Like, oh, he's a real artiste. He's like Nolan. He don't like CGI. Guardians of the Galaxy. He don't fucking love CGI.
Yeah.
He loves CGI, and he'll save you money because he won't even focus on the amazing CGI thing. So he doesn't even have to be that good. He's gonna focus on a little something, doing a little dance or something.
Yeah. Nah, dude, but it's like I don't know. This show just I was disappointed they're making a season 2. That was one of the news stories this week where it's like, nah, man. Like I got one full good story. Like I don't need more.
It's tough because I have no idea where you go from here.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume James Gunn is gonna do it too, because he did this whole first season, and I don't know how to feel. If somebody else does it, I feel like it might suffer. But then if he does it, maybe now he's repeating himself, and so that might make it suffer. I'm really nervous for season 2, and I say, where can it go from after that? But I kind of said the same thing after Suicide Squad. I thought the Peacemaker show was going to be a prequel. Like, oh, we're going to find out how he ended up in Belle Reve or something like that. And no, they gave us a story right afterwards, and it was amazing.
Yeah. And that's probably like when I hear James Gunn talk about it, he says, well, the reason I picked Peacemaker to do the show for is because he didn't have a full story. Like everybody else had their arc, their character arc. They grew, they were different at the end of it, and Peacemaker wasn't. So this is like what you didn't get in the movie for him, you get here. To me, that means okay, one and done. That's it. Maybe you could bring the character in later and have him do, if you want to connect it to Doom Patrol or something like that. Bring those universes together. You can do it, or maybe he'll be in a movie and it'll be like, continuing from what he was there. But I don't know how another show like it won't have the heart that this one had, I don't think,
Yeah, this
because
whole season was like the Peacemaker's arc. Like there's
yeah,
a lot of growth and all that, but towards the end, like he's kind of dealt with all his issues. He's dealt with his dad issue, his issue with with like not having friends, and
yeah,
like he deals with so much that he overcomes. I like where do you go from there? Maybe focus on someone else like Vigilante. It's like Vigilante has no growth. Like dude is the same towards the end that he was at the beginning.
yeah,
But
yeah,
it's not going to be the Vigilante show. It's going to be Peacemaker season 2. That's why
yeah,
I have confidence in James Gunn to surprise me, because
yeah.
he seems to do it a lot. He does a lot of things that I'm like, yeah, I'm interested because it's something like, but he's going to fuck it up, and then I enjoy it.
The good
So
thing is, I don't think they would rush a season 2. Like, it doesn't have to come out in a year. Like they can take 2 years and really develop a story. But who knows? I mean, when it comes to, like, especially if you bring back the characters of their team, because they all disbanded at this point. They went their separate ways, so they don't need to come back. Just for John Cena needs to come back illegally. That's it. Maybe Vigilante.
the blonde chick too.
She can, but she doesn't need to, because I mean that whole team was like compromised, right? Like with the one chick going into talking to the press. Yeah.
Well, I think the Suicide Squad Task Force X was compromised, but they were like a little subsection.
Yeah.
So they might still be okay. I don't know. Do they get Amanda Waller back? Like, she she spends like 2 minutes in this whole series, but they're impactful 2 minutes. Like you see the repercussions of her 2 minutes throughout the whole thing. And even at the end, like she's just giving a look, and she's planning something, and she's not happy. Which, I mean, she's never happy. So I don't know. I look forward to it, but I fear it for all the reasons that I stated.
Yeah, but of course, the soundtrack for me is what I like. Like, I mean, every moment had like, well, just that episode 4 had that one montage with the House of Pain, LA Guns House of Pain, and I'm like, man, I've heard this song since I was fucking 4 years old, but it never hit me like in that scene. Like, man, it's like hearing this song for the first time. And when you think of hair metal, it's very cheesy, but the songs were emotional, and they were somewhat deep. A lot of them, the ballads, and this one focused a lot on the ballad. Even like, and then the next episode ended with whatchamacallit, the Home Sweet Home by Motley Crue, with him just playing it on the piano.
Yeah.
And then the next episode started with the actual song. So it's just like that through line just was really good,
But even like little touches like that, like I saw him with the piano. I thought he was just gonna like mess around. He starts like playing a song. I was like, wait, that sounds familiar. Wait, is he playing Motley Crue? Like in this emotional, like the serious, sad. God. It's like, dude, this guy.
But then when the next episode starts and it's playing, you see why, because it's like he killed his brother to that song, essentially.
I have questions though, like the butterfly at the end. I don't. That wasn't the main one, right? That wasn't.
I don't think it was,
because I think they killed that one.
Yeah, they killed that one. Because I forgot how they killed her, but I remember them killing him. So I think it was just a random one. That cow thing, man, like that CGI thing was grotesque,
dude. And they give it the one little sharp tooth.
Yeah.
It's like
a
really
baby.
like it makes it look like a creepy baby
Yeah.
thing.
And they're just milking it like these giant teats.
It looked like a baby Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah. And it kept making these weird noises. I really liked how they use the white dragon, you know? Like it felt like they were gonna do too much with the two antagonists, you know? And it's like, no, it was just a plot point for him, character development, and it just fast kill. Yeah. One episode.
I like that he figured out a way to have white supremacists wearing white sheets, but not like that classic image.
Yeah.
Which kind of made it like interesting and made them seem more ridiculous because it's a pillowcase.
Yeah.
The things are coming up like horns because you know the white dragon had the horns.
Yeah.
And it makes complete sense, but you're sitting there watching like that. They look ridiculous, but they make sense. I don't know how to feel about this.
Yeah. And Judo Master, I guess, was like an open end too, because they didn't end up killing him. He's just out free, right?
Yeah, he was crying.
Yeah, because he like they revealed what they told him though, right? To change his mind to make him go with the plan. Because
Yeah, they told everything that they tell Peacemaker to try to turn him is what they told.
Yeah. And he was on board.
Makes it like some people were suspecting that the reason he's eating hot Cheetos all the time is so that the butterflies don't get in his mouth.
Yeah.
And then his costume covers his butthole, so he's like safe.
Yeah.
But then hearing like how they turned him, like, well, they don't need to get in his head.
Yeah.
He was all in. Like he was crying like a little bitch when he sees what happens. Like he's a true believer. You don't need to take him over.
Yeah. And then of course the best line of the show for the whole first season was fuck white power, it's the devil. Fucking love that shit. I wish that was my yearbook quote.
It's the best line until you get to Resident Alien and you hear the word man pawns.
Oh my god. I haven't got to it.
Yeah,
but I can imagine. What episode is that?
That's the one that just came out.
Oh yeah.
This week.
Yeah, I gotta catch up.
Not today, because I think there's one today, right?
Yeah.
So not today, because I saw this episode like 2 days ago. So whatever the last one was, I think episode 4.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all I'll say. It's just when I heard that, I kept hitting the back 15 seconds button just to hear the whole thing again.
Yeah, I do that shit too. Jay, so you haven't caught it at all, huh?
No, not yet. Like it's on my. Say again.
You have HBO Max though, right?
No. No, I had to. I got rid of it for now.
Okay.
For reasons.
Yeah. Clandestine reasons.
Yeah, but Lawrence has it. Like you could probably. I
Yeah,
can't
Larry,
say you could probably use his account. What I can say and stay within, rules is you can go over to his house when he's watching it and binge the whole thing. And the point is you can get access, right? Like that's
I'm sure I can.
Okay.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, all right.
Like I'll figure it out.
Like I started to say something and realized I might be breaking terms of service. I better edit myself.
Yeah. Look, they should be like Netflix and don't give a fuck. Just raise the price.
Well, they should be like, I hate to say it, they should be like Disney, where you can have like 5 different people that can access it.
Yeah. Well, how many can you have on HBO?
Oh boy.
I don't know. I don't have HBO.
Yeah. Oh, okay. But yeah, I know because I have 3.
The thing about Disney though is that they're kind of annoying. Like they have a thing set up where if there's any kind of space in between your device and your screen, then they like black you out, and that's annoying.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Like if you're sharing an account?
No, like if
Oh.
you're trying to like screenshot or record,
Oh, okay.
like get screen grabs.
Yeah.
It's annoying.
They all do
Yeah,
that now though too, man.
Yeah, there's
No,
all kind of apps
Amazon
that
doesn't.
Doesn't? Okay.
there's
I
been
mean, I
a bunch
don't
of
want
apps
to.
that I try to like send from the phone to the TV to watch it on TV, and it won't let me do it. Like it'll actually say, "No, you can't do this. We know what you're trying to do. You can't do it."
Like I'll say, I got like some of our. Well, no, I shouldn't say that, but
No, well, I
let's
mean,
just say
you're a
Amazon.
journalist, Jay. You're a
Let's-
journalist. You have fair use rights here for certain things.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, some of our review copies came from Amazon,
Oh, okay.
so
Yeah.
you know they're not doing it yet, or they haven't been doing it,
Yeah.
or at least for the stuff we did. Like,
Yeah. Well, they sent us willingly copies so that we can review and rate and promote. Part of the perks. What was the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about? Fuck, I don't remember.
I know I wanted to talk to Oz a little bit about Vox Machina.
Oh yeah.
And I know I'm actually behind. I didn't watch the finale, but I wanted to ask if you like read the comics. Like, are they pretty good?
I haven't read the comics actually. Their origins, I know that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't read any of the comics. I don't know if they're good or not.
Okay.
I've seen some of the art. The art looks fine. Like I wasn't blown away, but it looks fine. I don't know. I wanted to read the comics, but look, I haven't even seen past the third episode of the anime.
Oh,
So
that's good.
I just haven't had time.
And I actually like how they released, like how they do 3 episodes at a time, which was like pretty cool.
Well, it's like each one's like a little quest, so it makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, I do know that they do get into where, because I said that the first few episodes started before the show started, and I've seen clips where stuff happens and I remember that. So they do get into the what they streamed, I guess is how to say it. And in fact, I think the whole show is basically about Percy, right? And the Briarwoods.
Yeah. This first season, they're definitely the main story here.
Yeah, so they get actually pretty deep into what they did in the show, because they'd go several sessions before they get back to his backstory and figuring out some of his stuff, because they have to. Yeah, so I want to watch it. I do want to read the comic. I know they have a couple other books for some of their other campaigns that I've seen on the shelves, both comic and it's regular. What do you call regular books? Prose.
Yeah.
It's just regular prose books.
Or amateurs, depending on who writes it.
But yeah, in a lot of the stuff that I've seen them release, the art is always, it's never bad. I don't want to say it's always great or amazing. It's never bad from what I've seen of what they put out. So yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind picking up the comics. I don't know how many there are though.
Big Man says, watch the first 2 eps. They seeded the Chroma Conclave storyline and jumped to the Briarwoods.
One of my clients watched the finale and he said it was amazing. And he wasn't really like really into like Dungeons and Dragons until now because one of his friends is really into it. So he's like, "I made you a character and you can play." All right, and then he got into the show and he really likes the show a lot. So
The animated show or the
yeah, the animated show. But he's watched the other one too. Like he went full critter, and I'm like, man. But he like talking to this dude, you wouldn't think like he only started talking about that stuff with me because he saw my Silver Surfer poster I have at work, and he's like, "Oh, you like comics?" Yeah, man. And then it just spawns into everything else, and yeah, he really said like you said that season finale was really good, but I haven't watched past the first 3 episodes myself, so I might check it out. I really like that what is it, 3rd episode? The one when they're in the house at like the dinner party. I really
Yeah, that's the
enjoyed
3rd
that.
episode.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that episode. So
yeah, apparently it just gets better from there. Right?
yeah,
Yeah,
Like, that's where it really starts to pick up.
yeah. The stuff that Larry didn't like was like he didn't watch that episode either, right? That's
No,
why
he stopped at episode 2. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this isn't going anywhere." And we're
Yeah,
like, "Oh, episode 3 is where it starts to really kick off." Wow.
yeah,
But you know
Yeah.
what? I had the same thing with Arcane. I watched, I think it was like the first 2, and you guys
Yeah.
told me I gotta watch 3, and then I watched 3. I was like, "Oh, I want to see the rest of this."
yeah.
I haven't, but I want to.
I gotta watch that too. I got a lot of shit to watch, man.
Yeah, look, it's in my DVR, ready to be
Should be
watched.
Yeah. Too
Well,
busy
pretty soon you're gonna have a game to play.
for Vox Machina.
No,
No,
for
Arcane.
Final Space.
Oh yeah, huh?
Yeah, they're coming out. Owen Dennis said all the voice
Yeah.
work is done. They're just finishing putting the game together.
Yeah.
Is it like at what point in the story does it take place? Is it like the final season that they wanted?
No, it's not the final season. It's just like an episode,
Oh,
Uh,
one episode.
something like that.
Yeah,
Like
'cause I know
it's a story. It's a story arc, but it's not like the ending they want. Like Owen Dennis is still kind of hoping that eventually, in like 10 or 15 years, it'll be nostalgic enough so that they could continue it.
Yeah.
look, I would have said he's wrong, but we're getting 90s X-Men, right?
Dude, we're
Yeah.
getting fucking Futurama.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of done with Futurama. They keep coming back like every.
Look, they already
Yeah.
made the best episode ever. Like I don't think they like there some of those when they brought it back, I think the 3rd time, some of those episodes got really kind of deep. And it's like they already got that, like the one with the dog, like fuck. I feel like Joe reading 7 Miles Down.
Which one was the best episode? The one where he's an old man and he gives up his love to. It's a weird time travel thing.
Yeah, the one where the universe keep missing their part in the timeline, so they wait for the universe to reset itself again. Is that the one?
That's a good
my
one.
favorite. That's my favorite one. And I think that
I was
season
thinking
10.
of a different one where Fry like lives this life with her,
Uh-huh.
and then loses her, but travels back in time and is in like as an old man, like advises younger Fry.
Oh yeah.
But
That
he
was
doesn't-
Bender's big score.
yeah, but he doesn't like reveal that he's old Fry, and so like new Fry has a whole new life.
Yeah.
That one's sad.
Yeah,
I think
really
that's
good.
that one.
That's
I'm
like a
not sure.
movie, right? Like a TV movie. Bender's Big Score.
It
Like,
could
feels like
have
a
been
longer one, like 45 minutes.
It's
Yeah,
tough for you to
that
remember
was
because
the-
they all like blend together at a
Yeah.
certain point. But you remember these key moments like that. Like you
Yeah.
remember that. I remember like finding that out, that reveal of who this old guy is. That like, oh
Yeah, that was a really good one too. I remember watching that. See, I had time to watch it back then. I was unemployed.
Hex says Futurama without half the cast. I thought John DiMaggio was the only one not coming back.
think there's one more person, like the one that did the Asian girl. I'm sorry, the Martian girl.
Oh, okay.
I love the whole thing with the Martians and the Native Americans, like or Native Martians. Like that shit was fucking awesome. And it says here, there's one. What do you say? No, there's one with Leela and Fry where they live their lives, but everything is frozen around them. That's one too.
I mean, there's like we could pick episodes all day. There's one where he thinks his brother stole his lucky clover and had this great life,
Yeah,
and then you realize no, that's like he didn't. He thought his brother changed his name and pretended to be him to have this
Yeah.
great life. It's like no, that's not your brother. That's his kid that he
Yeah.
named after you because he loved you so much.
yeah,
Ah, dude.
yeah. They already made all these awesome episodes. I don't know. Look, I'm not saying they can't make more awesome episodes. I'm not gonna say that they can't. They don't have material to make good social commentary the same way they did back then. I'm just like, might be Disney's Futurama, because it's Disney bringing these old things back,
Another thing that I was thinking is that kind of like why bring it back? Like
Yeah,
it's interesting. Like, okay, so they brought Animaniacs back, but because of the format and the ratings, they were able to do stuff with it now that they couldn't do before. So it's
Right.
like closer to like what they would have been doing back then had they been allowed to. But Futurama was always pretty much able to do what they wanted.
yeah,
So it's like you're not really like to me it feels a little unnecessary.
yeah.
Like, and don't get me like we all love Futurama. We've all
Right.
got great episodes that we love, and I am confident they can come up with some more, but it still feels a little unnecessary.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We
Big
were
Man in
all
chat.
clamoring for Futurama.
That's
Yeah.
the thing. Big Man in chat says money, which makes sense. It makes complete sense, but at the same time, I can't. I don't see people clamoring for it. Like the
And-
first 3 times it was canceled and brought back.
Futurama got better and better the less money it made. Like the quality, the storytelling was, because at that point they're like, "Fuck it, we might not get renewed. Let's tell the stories we want," and that didn't save it. It's Disney thinks there's money. It's an AT&T move, yeah, trying to buy DC, or then they're gonna have to sell it off to Discovery.
I just
But-
really don't want it to end up like, say, Simpsons or Family Guy, where you're just
Right.
reading the description of the episode and you're like, dude,
Yeah.
that sounds dumb as fuck. Like,
And just watching
Like-
the funny parts on TikTok. Yeah.
right.
I can't remember the last episode of The Simpsons that I watched. I want to
Like,
say it was a Halloween episode because those always tended to be good, but then it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I
Dude,
stopped.
Yeah,
even the Halloween episodes to me are like fucking lackluster as shit.
Yeah.
Like now, like I know last Halloween I went back and watched like some of the early Treehouse of Horrors. I'm like, man, they're so good.
Even the
And,
little
like,
intros were really good. Like
Right.
the little anthology wraparounds.
Treehouse of
Mhm.
Horrors were always like something you look forward to every year. Like, oh, it's happening. Oh, all right, yeah, and you get all excited. And like now, like I said, I think that's the last Simpsons episode I watched, and I can't tell you how many years ago it was. I know it was pre-pandemic, so it's been at least like 2 or 3.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to watch the pandemic episodes. Maybe I'll go back and look at that. What was the Treehouse of Horror episodes that made you guys wet the bed at night?
I don't think
I don't think none of them have
The
ever
most
got me like
memorable
that.
Yeah,
most
they didn't get
memorable
me like that either.
for me, for me are obviously the Edgar Allan Poe, just because I love that poem. And
Mhm.
the one I forget the name, but I think the principal is like eating the kids,
Oh
Yeah, I was thinking of that one. Like
and
that
it
one is
gets
really good.
towards the end where like surely the Simpson children will survive, and they don't. And it's like that one got me a little bit because it's like, wait, no, the Simpsons are supposed to solve this mystery and
Yeah.
save everybody, and now they're food.
Yeah. So
The
good.
funny thing about that episode too is that it's like the only one that Homer isn't in. Like they ended up having to cut his part or his line in that for time.
Yeah.
So like it's the only Treehouse of Horror segment that doesn't have him in it.
Is
Yeah.
that the one where he's listening to them tell the stories in the treehouse? And so like at the end of it, he's like, oh, like really freaked out while the kids are like, oh yeah, those were cool stories.
No, I think
No, that was the first one.
yeah.
That's
That was
the Alan Poe one.
yeah.
Okay.
Man, it was good stuff. Hey, look, you guys got any news stories? We can do a little news. We got time for news today. This news music.
Comic book news.
We should have a like
Comic book
like current.
news.
Well, not like that, but like. Let's see what we have in the news segment here. I know you talked about the final space game.
Yes.
That's good news.
Yeah, that is good. I think it's gonna be VR too, or VR compatible.
Oh, it better be compatible, but I don't want to play the VR. Let it be compatible. I'm old. I don't need this new shit. The dude that pretty much saved Star Wars comics passed away last week. Tom Veitch, and they're doing a GoFundMe, and because he didn't get his things in order, so that's kind of sad. But what really like got me was reading his story of how he saved the dark horse the dark horse Star Wars. Like basically he had this idea for this comic book expanded universe that with George Lucas's express permission, and Marvel just passed on it. They're like, nah, we don't think that'll be good. And then they took it to Dark Horse, and Dark Horse went with it. And man, you see all that shit to come out of there, all the stuff that they ignore now, but all that shit added value to, but what Star Wars is now. But it was him and the artist. Like, I was like, man, this dude, like, when Larry said in the production text that he was sad, like, I'm like, why are you sad? What do you care? Marvel passed on it. You would have hated it. You were like, it's not gonna be good. Marvel didn't do it. Yeah, but that sentiment would have worked better if Larry was here, so I could call him up. But he's not. But yeah, that was a sad story of the week. But
they put out pictures of the Lego toys for Thor: Love and Thunder, and so everybody's freaking out over what Natalie Portman's Thor is going to look like, which looks like Thor to be.
I'm more interested in seeing what she's actually going to look like, not the toy. Because it's like I have weird feelings about this Natalie Portman Thor, because in the comics, like, you weren't supposed to tell it was Jane Foster, So it's like, is it going to be a body double? Like, what are we doing? And they're probably not even going to do any of that. But you can't really just put her in Thor's clothes, can you?
I don't think they're going with the, like, and I've said this before when we've talked about the Jane Foster Thor stuff, is the thing that made it interesting was that the more she used the power, the more of her essence got absorbed, where like the cancer that was killing her killed her faster.
Okay.
But like if she's not when she's not using the power of Thor, she's like bedridden and emaciated. Like you could this person is dying. So it was kind of like an interesting thing where you're healthy and powerful, but it's killing you faster. You know, it made the character a little bit more interesting. And it looks like with the movie, she's just gonna have the power. Like I think we've seen they've put out, you know, like cell phone video of the production, and it looks like she gets the power because she visits the shrine where Meow Meow was destroyed by Hela.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you've seen that.
I haven't seen that, but that's weird.
Yeah, it's like it's like a shrine basically. That's also where Odin died in the center or whatever. And yeah, it's a shrine, and obviously they can't lift the pieces of Mjolnir.
Yeah.
So like it's like they dug around it and built a pedestal. It's like literally carved around it, and all the pieces are right how they fell when
Wow.
Hela broke it.
So that's probably what's gonna be. She's gonna be able to lift it up, and
the video that I saw like showed her near it and like having a seizure, which I guess is like the power doing stuff to her, and I'm sure CGI and all that. But yeah, she looked healthy. I didn't see no hospital gown or anything on her.
She wasn't bald.
No, unless they CGI her hair out.
But they would have had a green screen or like a green.
But you know what? I don't think she was blonde either.
Yeah.
Didn't Jane Foster go blonde when she gets the power?
Well, that was part of the whole. That was part of the whole. Like, who is it? Who is the female Thor? You know. So
yeah, it was a while before they actually revealed that, right? Like,
yeah. It was like
was doing some stuff before you find out it's Jane Foster.
had to have been about 6 months, because I think it was issue 6 where they reveal it. Yeah.
We'll see, but I have confidence in Taika Waititi.
Yeah, that's what's actually keeping me optimistic about it. You know, I love his movies, and I'm gonna have to watch Free Guy because nobody told me he was in it. You know, including him. You know, I follow him on Instagram. He didn't say, "Oh, my movie's coming out this weekend." You know, he's too busy. Because I think he's having a throuple with some British pop star, so he keeps just posting pictures of her. And like, yeah, I mean, you know, so I don't know, like, I don't know what he's up to, but yeah. And I'm like, today I watched the trailer for Free Guy because I didn't know anything about it. Like, I knew what Tiger Claw told me, and I knew what you guys kind of told me.
Yeah, but you should watch Free Guy just because it's good.
Well, that's the thing. It's everybody just told me these things, and it didn't sound good to me, you know, because we didn't really do a review. We just had a little, you know, Tiger Claw inspired discussion, and nobody had watched it except I think just you, maybe Jay.
Yeah, I think I had at that point.
Yeah. And today I watched the trailer.
Because I stopped me from spoiling the cameo.
Oh, yeah. Oh, what was the cameo?
I mean, there was actually several cameos.
Yeah, but I was talking about the Chris Pine cameo.
It's not Pine.
It's not Pine?
No, it's Evans.
Oh,
Evans. Chris Evans.
Too many Chris's in Hollywood. Yeah. So I don't know. I put on my list to watch, and I saw Taika Waititi was in. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And he's speaking German, and he mentioned Hitler. Like, I'm in. Anytime Taika Waititi has something to do with Hitler, it's hilarious. Yeah. But yeah. And other news, CW is doing a Gotham Knight series, and Nightwing is going to be in it. And apparently there's spoiler.
I don't.
Too.
I read some articles on it. I don't think they actually confirmed it's Nightwing.
Yeah.
Right? They just say it's like rebellious children.
Yeah.
If spoilers in it, it should be Drake, but the way they describe the character, it should be Jason Todd, which makes me think or even actually Damian would work too for what they describe the character and the team. You know, they say the team is like the children of villains, like trying to what do you call it when they improve their image and become heroes?
Is that what's going on?
That's
I'm out.
Kind of what the article made it seem. And you know, Damian would work with that because the dude's a killer. Like
depends on what day of the week he might be a villain.
I mean, he's a killer, but he wants to make his dad proud too. So he tries not to.
Issue. That usually makes you a villain, period.
You know, and that's one of the things we loved about, what was it, Detective? I think it was Detective 666, where it's a Damian Wayne story, and you know he's like, oh, I promised my dad I wouldn't. Well, he doesn't say dad. I promised father I wouldn't kill, and I have to break that promise, and he just like snaps a dude's neck. It's like, damn. Like, yeah, there's a lot there, but then the article made it seem like it was Nightwing too. And it's just, it's the people making Batwoman. I don't know what people expect. I don't know why these people keep getting work.
Well, and that's the thing. Like when you said in our pre-production text, like it's the people making Batwoman. I'm like, okay, then I'm not gonna. It's not gonna be what I thought Gotham Knights, because I remember that old book series Gotham Knights where it was like just one issue would be like Tim Drake and Nightwing teaming up. Then it's like Batgirl and Spoiler, you know, and it's like it's different stories involving the Gotham heroes, and they'll just have a short 2-3 issue arc, and then you get another one. And I love that series. And I'm like, man, that'd be a really good TV show, because it's like you only need to commit for a few episodes at a time. You don't need a full-on contract, you know. But I mean, that might cost them more. I don't know. But yeah, it's like now that you said the rebellious villain kids, I'm like, ugh. I'm out.
I mean, look, even the way it was described, I was thinking, is this Batman Beyond? It's like it's just all over the place.
It sounds really weird.
Yeah, it's
like apparently following the apparent murder of Bruce Wayne, his rebellious adopted son forges an unlikely alliance with the children of Batman's enemies when they are framed for killing the Caped Crusader. Like, that sounds fucking awful.
Yeah.
Not that I know what that means. Like, what kids?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I know Riddler has a daughter. But
they were also speculating. Well, spoiler. I mean, because she's Luthor's daughter. Then somebody threw out Duella Dent because she claimed to be Joker's daughter for a while, and then her name's Dent and Duella. So like, oh, is she Two-Face's daughter? And she's just a crazy bitch. It's I don't know. I think they mentioned, I forget what homegirl's name. I think it's Bluebird, who like is I think an orphan when Batman finds her. Like, she's just the tech person. So she'll probably be the person in the chair, because it's also Berlanti behind it.
Wait, orphan?
No, I think her name is Bluebird.
Oh,
she like wanted to be a Robin, and she has blue hair, so they call her like Bluebird.
Oh, that's the one that we thought was in the Robin's book, no?
Something like that. I don't use her very much. I'm not even sure Bluebird is her name, to be
Yeah.
honest.
That's interesting. I know Clue Master. I never thought of him as a Batman villain, but I guess he is. And yeah, Orphan's dad was a villain, and her mom.
Yeah, but see, you're thinking of characters that are good. They're not gonna have Orphan. They're gonna screw up Spoiler.
Well, look, if it's Berlanti and the people between Batwoman, they're gonna use good characters. They're just gonna make them bad.
That's what I'm saying. Spoiler is a good character. I love Spoiler. She ain't gonna be good in this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll watch it and let you guys know.
No, I'm gonna watch it too.
Yeah, but you're gonna enjoy it. You're
Maybe.
gonna enjoy it, and you're gonna talk about how much you enjoy it. And I'm just gonna sit here angry.
Big Man says next they're gonna do Bat Hound show.
I'm
Dude,
still
that
waiting.
League of Super Pets movie looks fucking awful.
Yeah.
Like that is one, it just looks terrible. Two, it's like fucking miscast as hell. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be a train wreck. Like it might even be worse than Rescue Rangers.
Oh yeah, that trailer dropped
Which-
last week too, right?
Yeah, that it's unnerving to me hearing John Mulaney and Seth Rogen's voices coming out of Chip and Dale. Like I know when I heard that they were doing it, like I was like, oh, okay, like they're really funny. But I figured they would do something about their voices, like
Yeah.
in the Chipmunks. Like they like it's still like talented people, but they just like high pitch their voices, but they don't do shit with their voices, and it just sounds so wrong.
I gotta watch that. I didn't
Not
get
to mention the plot looks fucking.
What's the
Oh
plot?
my.
Like what do you
So the plot is that Rescue Rangers was a TV show, and so they something happened and they kind of broke up, and now they're getting back together to try and do the show again. And there's like a whole commentary on different animations, and like Dale got the surgery that made him 3D now, and
Don't laugh at that.
No, I'm laughing at like no, I'm not laughing at that. Oh, that's good, that's funny. I'm laughing at Jay, like the disgust.
it's not Rescue Rangers. It's just really bad and really dumb. Like who was like, we need to bring back Rescue Rangers, but we need to do it like this. Like
Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
like he should be slapped. Someone should slap him.
Seth Rogen loves bringing back stuff that people loved in the 80s and 90s and ruining
But
it.
he did normally he did it good. Like, say what you want about Green Hornet. The spirit of the show, the spirit of the show was in that movie. Like, whether you think he pulled it off or didn't, like the spirit was there. You could see what they were going for.
Plus, it's like a next generation type of thing, right? Like he's the Green Hornet's kid. Is that what it is? Or no?
No,
No.
he was the Green Hornet.
He was
okay.
the Green Hornet.
Never mind.
But yeah, like I see, you could see what he was doing. Like, yeah, it's
Son of a bitch.
at least I won't have to pay for it. Say again?
Seth Rogen's doing Darkwing Duck. Damn.
Yeah, he's the one doing Darkwing Duck. But
He's like, what can I fuck up today?
The only stuff that I enjoy.
I think he might not fuck that up as bad. Like, it's interesting because DuckTales did Darkwing Duck as a TV show in universe, but they actually made it work for when they actually introduced Darkwing Duck to that show.
Mhm.
So it, like, if he just follows kind of what they do, that might turn out okay. Tiger Claw says Seth Rogen's also doing that CGI TMNT movie. Have there been any pics or anything info from that Tiger Claw? Or is
Tiger
that
Claw posted the concept art, I think, for that.
okay? But that's concept art isn't anything.
I hear concept art doesn't always look like the final product. I don't know where I heard that. But
Says, yeah. One of those YouTubers you watch all the time.
yeah.
Yeah, I look. You're what you're telling me about Rescue Rangers is kind of, you know,
It's like a messed up Roger Rabbit.
yeah.
And Roger Rabbit is in it, like,
Yeah.
because they
Is
basically
that in
go
it?
through talking to all these like old cartoon stars, and there's a scene where the cats from Cats are in it, and
Yeah, so it's like live action. Well, except there's Chip is a cartoon, Dale is a 3D, like live action 3D or whatever, and yeah, they're interacting with other cartoons. Yeah, it's like a messed up Roger Rabbit.
yeah,
It seems like the thing. I think Mo might enjoy it because he smokes a lot of weed.
Yeah, that's kind of
That's Seth Rogen's wheelhouse.
yeah. I know. It's a perform for people like him and I. It's a performance enhancing drug. But yeah, who knows? I mean, look, it didn't. That's probably hindered him when he did Preacher. Yeah.
Well, see, and I was talking crap about him, but when I looked up his IMDb, he also did Invisible.
Invisible.
Invincible,
Oh yeah,
oh right.
yeah.
which I liked.
And the
Even
voice.
though I still think Jack Black should have been Alan.
Yeah.
So
put the link.
Tiger Claw put the link to the leaked concept art. I can't copy it from the thing.
In awesome news, the Fallout series is casting Walton Goggins.
Fallout?
Yeah, like the game.
Oh.
They're adapting it, but it's on Amazon Prime.
They're adapting it to a movie?
To a TV show.
Ooh, that doesn't sound good.
Well, it's on Amazon Prime.
It's just post-apocalyptic, except instead of zombies, it's irradiated
ghouls
everything.
Yeah.
Which actually, the ghouls are technically just irradiated zombies.
Yeah. It's weird when you go to like a bar in the wasteland or something, and a ghoul that's not like quite monstrous yet is like your bartender. And he's like giving you a drink, and it's a piece of
his face is all like
and he gives you, especially in I think it was 3, where like, you got to go here and do that, and he's just talking to you, but his face is like falling apart.
I think there's so many ways to fuck it up.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's Amazon Prime. They're good at that.
But they also have a lot.
Amazon.
They have a lot of leeway because there is no like central character,
right?
Your character is always somebody new. The only consistent thing is the war.
Yeah,
you don't really like. You always, I think like
right. But they're probably gonna do this thing where they're not even gonna worry about the atomic age thing, and they'll do it about water. Because it's Amazon.
Water.
Yeah, like how they were fighting over energy and shit, and it was like everybody was using the atomic energy to power everything, and that's what fucked everything up, right?
No, it was the communists.
Yeah, it was nuclear war.
Right, but because they wanted more of that technology.
No, it was just communism. Like everybody had the technology. That was the problem. Everybody had the technology, so when they went to war, everybody just launched nukes.
All right. Well, look, they might use different. They might find a way to fuck it up in the basis, just like I did. Someone like me has probably pitched the idea.
I hope there are no kids in it.
But
There'll be kids. Why do you not want kids?
I just, in the game they're invincible.
That's right.
So I hope they're not
shooting kids.
What?
Yeah, because they don't want you as a
I
player
know,
going around
but
shooting kids.
But it takes me out of the game when I'm shooting things that won't die.
He's sitting there just blasting away at a kid. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, Walton.
Because there's this whole town of kids, and it's like they're being assholes, and you just want to shoot them so you can be over with, and then they don't die. They're just invincible. It's like fucking kids, man.
Well, if they have kids on the show, I'm sure that some of them will die.
We can only hope.
I mean, obviously they're going to try to copy Walking Dead. I guarantee that's where the idea came from. Hey, we can redo Walking Dead, but different. And I mean, there's an episode that's in there around shooting a kid in the head. Like, look at the flowers. I think it's a radiated mushroom or something. I don't know. I have trust in Goggins.
Well, yeah, I do too. But that's the acting, the actual show itself. Like, he could be great in it, even though it's terrible.
Which will make it fine. Like, if I can enjoy his performance, then I can slog through a few episodes.
I just watched him as a white supremacist the other day, and it was awesome. Well, that show is Justified is awesome in its own right, but he was in it, and it was awesome. All right.
I guess he's playing a ghoul.
Oh, is that what? Oh, he's perfect for that.
Oh, that means he's gonna just be in makeup or CGI.
If you have Hulu, there's a 30-minute Ford Bronco commercial. And it's about trying to find the old Johnny Bronco, the old Bronco spokesman from like the 70s. And it's him, and this guy is making a YouTube documentary about him, and he accidentally finds him. And he's trying to get him to come back to do the last Bronco commercial. And it's amazing. I didn't even mind that I was watching a 30-minute Bronco commercial. I don't even like.
Well, if you like Bronco commercials, Acura has a commercial web series.
Is Walton Goggins in it?
Nah, but there's really bad voice acting.
Is it
Which
Taika
you
Waititi?
like. He might be in it.
He's one of the bad voices. Yeah. All right. I'm actually at a news story, so if you guys want to call it a day, we can. If you guys got another news story, let's hear it. A tight 148.
I can't think of any news. I mean, there's a new coming out. Mark Gandolfo posted on Telegram saying she posted the cover for the new Unnatural, which is called hold on. Blue Blood. So she posted the cover for that, and she's also doing a Red Sita comic.
Red Sita?
Yes, from Red Sonja.
Oh, okay.
Which that cover I did put in our production text.
Oh, that's what. Yeah. Oh.
So those are her next two projects. And I'm looking forward to a natural. Like I love the first one.
Yeah, I still haven't finished reading the last issues. So now I have a reason to, because there's more coming.
Right.
And I finally found out what Draculina is without reading Hell Sonia. Jay.
You should read it anyway. Hell Sonya's
Yeah,
pretty
I'll probably
awesome.
read it. Because she came out in Sonia Versal, right?
Yes, I want to say yes.
Yeah, because they were in that hell world at one point.
Right.
So, yeah, I'll check it out. I like those. I mean, they got me. Humble Bundle did a Vampirella, charity thing, and I bought like 48 issues, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna check out these Dynamite comics with these characters because they got a lot of stuff. I ended up getting a bunch of stuff from them. Like Grant Morrison and Mark Millar were doing Vampirella books at one point, and I know
nice.
they hate each other, but they're on the same trade paperback bill. So I'm like, all right, I'm in. So yeah, and Draculina was actually pretty good, but you're gonna have to hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to find out because we're out of time. Well, not out of time, but let me hit this music. Oz, man, why don't you give us some final thoughts, man?
A new mystery package up on the channel. Check it out. Shot it at like 3 a.m, so not quite the normal energy that I have. In fact, I think like the editing's got some mistakes in it too, but whatever. It's a fun time. Check it out.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I don't know. Can you tell I was tired?
A little bit, but the thing is, the lighting in the room is always consistent, so it's like I can't tell that it's because of the time of day,
Yeah.
which is good. It's like, hey, it's a mystery package. You don't know what it is. Yeah. It's like it could be anthrax.
Which look, that's why I film myself opening any package just in case, evidence.
There's a record. Jay, man, give us some final thoughts.
I actually don't have any final thoughts this week.
Okay. Cool. And for Larry, I'll say, Encanto is great, even though I haven't seen it, but you should watch it. And then for me, as always, man, we'll be here next week. Follow us on social media. We're on TikTok now. I don't know what we're gonna do there, but we'll do something. And yeah, hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and we'll see you next week. As Larry says, we're out.